can actually hear more than without my hearing aid.
For a missing 10-year-old girl in North Carolina.
Zahra was last seen sleeping in her bed early Saturday morning.
Sleeping in her bedroom around 2 a.m.
She's missing right now. Amber Alert went up.
An Amber Alert was issued at the time of her disappearance because possible danger.
Her dad reported her missing 12 hours later.
Zahra is hearing impaired and she has a prosthetic leg.
She's 10 years old. She's scared. She has these disabilities.
Zahra's stepmother still considered a person of interest?
Anything's a possibility at this time.
Stepmother Elisa Baker was arrested on several charges unrelated to the disappearance.
Inconsistencies developed over the course of this investigation has not eliminated her as a person of interest.
Do you suspect foul play?
Anything's a possibility right now.
Mr. Coffey, you like being in control. Now who's in control? We have your daughter, and your pot-smoking redhead son is next, unless you do what is asked. 1 million unmarked will be in touch.
I have just gotten the ransom note, a copy of it right here in my hands. Mr. Coffey, you like being in control. Now who is in control? We have your daughter, and your pot-smoking redhead son is next, unless you do what is asked. 1 million unmarked will be in touch soon. Sounds like an adult writing, no, sounds like a 5th grader writing a novel. This is bogus. You know, I'm not a cop, and I'm not a professional at analyzing ransom notes, but this note is bogus. This is not real. You know, Mark Class just brought that up. We are taking your calls back to Jesse in Nevada. Jesse, what was your question?
Did they give the stepmother a lie detector test, Nancy?
I'm willing to bet no, because you don't have to submit to them. To Ellie Josted, what do we know? Did the stepmother or the father take a lie detector?
Well, police aren't talking about polygraphs at this point, but cops did come right out and say, and we hear every once in a while that somebody isn't cooperating, but police went a step further today and said that the stepmother was inconsistent in her statements and that she is being not truthful.
Out to the lines, Brenda, Pennsylvania. Hi, Brenda.
Hello, Nancy. How are you?
I'm good, dear. What's your question?
It says I heard on the show that the mother was using, and I want to know how the father not knew that. Just looking at this lady, she looks like a monster.
Using drugs? Are you saying that the stepmother's using drugs, and how the father did not know it?
Is that what I heard? Yes.
What about it, John Miller? What do we know? John joining us from the Hickory Daily Record. They're outside the home in Hickory, North Carolina. What do we know?
Well, Nancy, as far as her drug use is concerned, we have no indication of that yet, even though we know some items were taken from the home. But we also know that she has a Facebook page. And on our website, we're going to link to that Facebook page eventually. But we wanted to make sure that we had enough information about her in order to make sure that we weren't putting her in a position of having her being found guilty in the public mind. But we want to make sure people have enough information about
John Miller, what did you find on the Facebook page?
Well, we just found some musings by her, some pictures and some other pieces of information.
Musings. Yes. About what?
Well, about her life, about things that are happening before she came to Hickory.
Could you be a little more specific about what was of interest on her website?
Okay. The only thing of interest concerning this specific case was that she called her daughter a dark child. And the only instance on the website where she mentioned her daughter, she called her a dark child. And so everything else was really not of much concern to us. We were interested in finding out what was on her Facebook page about her.
You know, that's a very interesting observation. John Miller joining us from the Hickory Daily Record. You know, Ellie Joe said another thing, a fire. In the middle of all this, a fire gets started in the home?
Right, well, and that's the other weird thing about this, Nancy. At 5 a.m. approximately, there's a fire in the yard. Apparently someone had poured gasoline over the family cars and tried to start them on fire.
You know, Mark Glass, come on. Arson, a ransom note, and a kidnapping all in 24 hours?
It's a woman who seems to be completely out of control and desperately trying to cover up crimes that she has committed.